Hello friends and my dear students, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to explain you in this video about the factorization of quadratic polynomial and also find the roots of the quadratic polynomial. This topic is very important for 10th class. Any board 10th class books, these problems are there and the students struggle with this factorization. So I have decided to teach you this topic today. I have tried a lot to make it so easy for you. Once you see my video, you will understand how to factorize. So I want to start the explanation now. I think everybody know what is the general form of quadratic polynomial. If you don't know, then also I will tell you now. After this, you should remember what is the general form of quadratic polynomial. The general form of quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, where a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. First, we have to compare our quadratic polynomial with this general form. Is it written in this form or not? If the terms are not in the form of general form of quadratic polynomial, you have to arrange the terms in general form of quadratic polynomial. So yes, here x square first, then x, then constant term. Yes, these are in the form of the general form of quadratic polynomial. So we no need to arrange them here again. Now what we have to do? We have to check what is the constant term. Constant term is minus 12. And what is the middle term? If there is no number in front of variable, then we have to consider it as 1. The middle term is minus 1. The coefficient of middle term is minus 1. And the middle term is minus 1x or minus x. Generally, we don't say 1 and we even don't write it. Okay, it is understood that if there is no numerical coefficient in front of any variable, means we have to consider it as 1. So here we observe that the coefficient of x is minus 1 and the constant term is minus 12. So what we have to do? We have to find the factors. If we multiply the two integers, we should get minus 12. And if we add the same two integers, we should get the middle term, that is minus 1, coefficient of middle term. Okay, so see how I have written this. Like this, if you write, it will be very easy for you to find out the integers. Okay, we have to factorize minus 12 in such a way that we should get two integers. If we add them also, if we find the sum of those same two integers, we should get the coefficient of x, that is minus 1. Can you tell me what can be the two integers? 4 we have to, this 12 we have to factorize. 1 12s are 12, but 12 minus 1 is not 1. Another can be 3 4s are 12. Okay. So if I write 3 4s are. Okay, now here minus sign is there in this. It means that out of these two, one should be negative. Now which one should be negative? We have to look at this. Sum of same two integers is equal to minus 1. So here minus sign is there. This minus sign we have to give to the greater integer. Okay, same integers you write down here. Now observe. 3 4s are 12, plus minus minus. Minus 4 plus 3 gives you minus 1. That means these two factors, these two integers are suitable for this to factorize. Okay. Again observe what we have to do. We have to find out such two integers. If we multiply them, we should get minus 12. And if we add them, or if we find the sum of them, we should get the coefficient of x, that is minus 1. So here we got the two integers 3 and minus 4. Because 3 4s are 12 plus minus minus. We got minus 12 means constant term. Okay, and if we minus 4 plus 3, if we find the sum, we'll get minus 1, that is coefficient of the x. Okay, this much understood. Now come to the next step. What we have to do? First term we have to write as it is. Okay, last term also write as it is. That is constant term. We have to write as it is. What we are doing actually? We are factorizing, means we are dividing this middle term into two parts. What are those two parts? Those are 3 and minus 4. Okay. So this middle term we will write into two parts. That is, here see, first is plus 3 plus 3x. Then another integer is minus 4x. Why are we writing here x? Because this is x term. Okay, variable used is x in this term. So, middle term we have to divide and write into two parts. 3 and minus 4. Okay, first term write down as it is. Constant term also write down as it is. Now what we have to do? From first two terms, we have to find out something common. And from the last two terms also, we have to find out something common. What is the common number or any variable? We will find out. If directly you can't find common variable, what you do? You can factorize it. Okay. Like x square means you can write x into x plus 3x means you can write 3 into x. Then here minus 4x, or you can write, you can more factorize it, 2 into x. Then minus this 12 you can factorize 2 into 3. If you factorize like this, these are the first two terms, these are the next two terms. Now what we have to do? We have to find out something common. So here x is common in both the terms. So I will write down that x outside. And what if we remove this x, or if we take this x common outside of the bracket, what is left in the bracket? X. Plus, if we take this x outside the bracket, that is common we are taking now, already we have taken. Plus, what is left here? 3. Close the bracket. Now, minus. Here what is common? 2 is common. One more 2 is common. That is 2 2s are 4 is common. Okay. Then what is left here? X is left. Minus. Then here 3 is there. Okay. But here we have taken minus sign outside now. That's why what we have to do? This minus we don't have to write here. We have to change it into the plus sign. Take care of this. When there is outside minus sign, then this sign will change. If it is minus, it becomes plus. If it is plus, it becomes minus. When will you change this sign? When there is minus sign here outside. Now we have to check in this, that these two brackets we are getting equal or not. If we are getting these two brackets equal, that means we have done correct problem. Okay. If suppose these two are not equal, that means while taking common, we have committed some mistake. Okay, now this x plus 3 is same. Again this is one term, this is another term. X plus 3 take common. Okay. Now after taking x plus 3 common, what is left in this term? Only x. And in this term what is left? Minus 4 is left. Okay. So we got the factors x plus 3 and x minus 4. So what are the factors of x square minus x minus 12? The factors are x plus 3 and x minus 4. Suppose we want to find the roots of the quadratic polynomial. What is the meaning of roots? Root means x values. X values are called roots of the quadratic polynomial. Suppose we want to find the roots of the quadratic polynomial, then this function becomes 0, and if product of two numbers is 0, it means either x plus 3 is 0 or x minus 4 is 0. Okay, if x plus 3 is 0, then what we get? We get x is equals to 3 goes here and we get 0 minus 3. x is equals to 4 goes here and we get 0 plus 4. When any integer crosses equal to sign, its sign will change. Plus 3 becomes minus 3 because it is crossing equal to sign. Here also minus 4 will become plus 4 because it is crossing equal to sign. Okay. So x equal to 0 minus 3 means minus 3. And x equal to 0 plus 4 means 4. So we got 2x values. Why are we getting 2x values? Because it is a quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial is that polynomial whose degree is 2. Okay, if any polynomial's degree, that is maximum power. Degree means maximum power. Okay, degree means maximum power. If the maximum power, that is the degree, is 2, then that polynomial is called as quadratic polynomial. If degree is 2, that means we are going to get 2x values. If degree is 3, we will get 3x values. If degree is 4, we will get 4x values. Okay, and x values are called as roots of the polynomial. So here we are dealing with quadratic polynomial. So in quadratic polynomial, degree is 2. That's why we are going to get 2 roots of the polynomial. Okay, what are those 2 roots? Minus 3 and 4. Now what do you mean by roots? Roots means if we draw the graph of this polynomial, then the graph will be a parabola. The graph of quadratic polynomial is a parabola. Okay. Then roots means where this parabola will intersect x-axis, that points are called the roots of the quadratic polynomial. So here the roots are always shown by alpha and beta. Alpha and beta. Alpha is minus 3 and beta is 4. Okay, alpha is minus 3 and beta is 4. It means this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Okay. How to locate it into the in the graph? First root is minus 3, another is 4. Minus 3 means this is suppose 0 here. Minus 3 will be here, minus 3. And 4 will be here. Okay. So if you draw the graph of this quadratic polynomial, you will get a parabola because parabola is the graph of quadratic polynomial. So this graph will intersect x-axis at minus 3 and 4. Okay, minus 3 and 4. It will pass through minus 3 and 4. Like this, it will be a parabola. Understood? So we can see that this graph, this is the graph of quadratic polynomial. It is intersecting x-axis at minus 3 and 4. That's why roots are minus 3 and 4. How to make the graph of quadratic polynomial? For this also I am going to make one video after this. Then if you subscribe my channel, you will get the notification of that video. Okay. Now let us see the next example. In this also, you have to find out 2 integers so that when we multiply those 2 integers, we should get the constant term. And if we find the sum of the 2 integers, we should get the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? That is minus 6. Okay. Now tell me the 2 integers. If we multiply, see 3 3s are 9, okay, and 3 plus 3 is 6, but here we want minus 6. So you know that minus 3 and minus 3 gives you minus 6, and minus 3 into minus 3 is plus 9. So we will take integers minus 3 and minus 3. Same integers you have to take here also. Okay, so we observe that minus 3 into minus 3. Minus minus plus. 3 3s are 9. We get plus 9. Okay. And when we find the sum, we will get minus 3 and minus 3 minus 6. So yes, these are the integers suitable for factorizing this quadratic polynomial. Okay. So what to do now first? we have to write first term as it is and last term, that is constant term, also as it is with sign. And middle term we are factorizing into two parts. What are those two parts? Minus 3x, minus 3x. Minus 3x and minus 3x. Okay. From first two, take common. From next two terms, take common. If you can't take common directly, I told you very simple method to factorize it. X into x minus 3 into x minus 3 into x plus 3 3s are 9. Okay, this is the first term, first two term, next two terms. From first two term, what is common? X is common, na? Yes. If we remove x from here, what is left? X is left again. Minus. If we take x common, we have taken already when x common here. What is left then? Minus 3. Then which sign here? Minus. Okay, what is common here? 3 is common. What is left? X. And here what is left? What about the sign? Tell me. In previous problem, I told you if there is minus sign, inside sign will change. This is plus, so it will become minus. Understood? So what we have to do? Now see these two brackets we are getting same. That means our taking common numbers step is correct. Now what to do? X minus 3 take common because this is one term, this is another term. X minus 3 we have taken common. In another bracket what is left then? X is left and here what is left? Minus 3 is left. So we got the two factors x minus 3 and x minus 3. Okay. This problem, see the constant term is square of 3. And middle term is 2ab. In this problem, we can apply identity also. A plus b whole square or a minus b whole square. Here minus sign is there. So we can apply the identity a minus b whole square. But for that I have made another video. You can go through it. How to use identities. I will teach this in that topic. Here I am teaching factorization. That's why I am explaining you in this way. Okay. All the problems are not, we are not able to solve by using identity. Okay. Some problems only. And all the quadratic polynomials also we can't solve by this method. In some quadratic polynomial, you will not get roots like this. So what you have to do? You have to use quadratic formula. Okay, find out which is quadratic formula from your textbook. Okay. Now, if you want to find the roots, what should you do? The function becomes 0, and if both the numbers, if we are multiplying, we are getting 0, it means either x minus 3 is 0 or x minus 3 again is 0. So here what did we get? We get x equal to minus 3 goes this side, 0 plus 3. Minus 3 becomes plus because it is crossing equal to sign. Any integer if crosses equal to sign in an equation, its sign will change. X equals to 0 plus 3 and x equal to 3, x equal to 3. Okay, so what are the roots here? The roots are x equal to 3, x equal to 3. Means alpha is 3 and beta is also 3. Roots are equal. Roots are equal. How will be the parabola then? How will be the graph? How will be the graph? 1, 2, 3. Here 3. So this parabola, when you show graphically, then it will just touch the x-axis. It will just touch the x-axis at a single point. Why? Because the roots are equal. Okay, that's why if the roots are equal, that parabola will just intersect the x-axis at a single point. Here value is 3, so it is intersecting as 3. Suppose roots are 4 and 4, then it will intersect in 4 and 4. Suppose roots are minus 2, and minus 2, then it will intersect the x-axis at minus 2. Okay, when this condition is possible, when the roots are equal, then the parabola will just intersect the x-axis at a single point. Right, all of you? Now the third question is x square minus 1. Okay, how to factorize it? We know that x square minus 1, can we write 1 as 1 square? Yes, we can write 1 as 1 square. Okay, here we have to use identity because there is no other method. So 1 we can write 1 square and x square minus 1 square. We know the identity, a square minus b square is equals to a plus b, a minus b. Okay, so according to this identity, here a square means x square and b square means 1 square. So what will be the factors? X plus 1 and x minus 1. If the roots you want to find, then the function becomes 0 and you will get x plus 1 equal to 0, x minus 1 equal to 0. So again plus 1 becomes minus 1 and minus 1 becomes plus 1. So what are the two x values? That is, roots of the quadratic polynomial alpha is minus 1 and beta is 1. Okay, how will be the graph of this quadratic polynomial? Can you tell me? Yes, I think you are able to locate now. Alpha beta values. Alpha is minus 1 means here and beta is 1 means here. So the parabola will pass from minus 1 and 1. We can observe that the graph of the quadratic polynomial, this is the graph of x square minus 1, intersects the x-axis at two different points, that is minus 1 and 1. The roots are distinct now. The roots are distinct, they are different. Minus 1 and 1. So roots means where the graph intersect x-axis, that points I call the roots of the polynomial. So here it is intersecting at 2 points, that is minus 1 and 1. The roots are minus 1 and 1. Roots are always denoted by alpha and beta. Fine. In this first problem and second and third problem, the coefficient of x square is 1. So like this we are doing. But if we observe here in this problem, third problem, the coefficient of t square is not 1, it is 2. So what we should do? We have to find such two integers. If we find the product, we should get, multiply these two. 2 sevens are 14. We should get 14. When we multiply or we find the product, we should get 2 sevens are 14. Okay. And if we find the sum, we should get coefficient of t, that is 9. Can you tell me? The two integers, if we multiply, we should get 14, and if we add, we should get 9. This problem is different than the first one. In first one, the x square term was 1, but here x square coefficient is here 2. In first one and second and third problem, coefficient was 1 here. Okay, because if we multiply this constant term with 1, we will get same term, isn't it? So here in this, here 2 is there. If we multiply constant term with 2, we will not get the same number. 7 2s are 14. Okay, so constant term, when multiply by 2, first multiply these two terms. What answer you get? 14. So when we find the product of two integers, we should get 14. And if we find the sum of two integers, we should get 9. So what are the two integers? Here all signs are positive. So you don't have to struggle with the negative or positive sign. Simply all integers will be positive. So here 2 sevens are 14 and 2 plus 7 is 9. So we got the two integers. What are those two integers? Those two integers are 2 and 7. So how to start the problem? First term, write as it is. Okay. Last term also with sign write as it is. Middle term we are factorizing. We are dividing into two parts. Middle term we are dividing into two parts. What are those two parts? Here we got 2t plus 7t. Okay. After this step, what to do? Come on, tell me. Yes, from first two terms and next two terms, find out something common. 2 is common in both. Yes, we can find. T is also common in both. Yes, we can write here. Then if from t square we have taken t outside, 1t is left. Plus 2t we have taken outside. So don't think that there is 0. No. Because if we multiply 2t with 0, you will miss this term. Okay, so here there will be 1. If 2t both we are taking common, that means here there will be 1. Plus, here plus sign is there, so you should write plus itself. From these two, what is common? 7. Yes, 7 is present here as well as here. So take 7 common. Then here t is left plus. If you take 7 outside here, what will be left? Just now I said, no, not 0. It will be 1. Okay. Then here we are not changing the sign. Why are we not changing the sign? Because here it is positive. When should we change this sign? When this is negative, we have to change this sign. If it is positive, we don't have to change this sign. Okay, so here it is positive. So we are not changing the sign. Now observe, are we getting these two brackets equal? Yes, that means our calculation is correct. Now, if this is one term and this is another term, what will you take common from that? T plus 1 will be common. If you take t plus 1 common, what is left here? 2t plus, which sign here? Plus, middle sign plus. From t plus 1 taken common, what is left here? 7. Now what are the factors of 2t square plus 9t plus 7? The factors are t plus 1 and 2t plus 7. Okay, if you want to find the roots, what should you do? Write this function equal to 0. So either t plus 1 equal to 0 or 2t plus 7 equal to 0. T equals to 0 minus 1. And here 2t equals to 0 minus 7. So here t will be equal to minus 7 upon 2. Means minus 7 by 2 means we are dividing 7 by 2 means we are making it half. So it will be half of 7 is 3.5 minus 3.5. And here t equals to minus 1. So what are the roots of this quadratic polynomial? What are the roots of this quadratic polynomial? Yes, alpha is minus 1 and beta is minus 3.5. Okay, now how will be the graph? I think everybody is able to locate now the points, the roots on the x-axis. Minus 1 and here 2, minus 2, minus 3, here minus 3.5. Okay, like this. This is graph location I am telling. So the graph of this parabola, the graph of this quadratic polynomial will pass from minus 3.5 and minus 1. Okay, understood? Now let's come to the fourth question. Here again the coefficient of x square is not 1, and check all are in general form of quadratic polynomial or not. General form of quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c. First square term, then x term, then constant term. Yes, it is in that form. Okay, again coefficient of x square is not 1. So what we have to do? We have to find such two integers. If we multiply them, we should get 2 ones are 2. Consider sign also. 2 ones are 2. Okay, if we find the sum of same two integers, we should get x coefficient, that is minus 3. Okay, now tell me what are the two integers, 2 and 1. 2 ones are 2, but here minus sign is there. If I write 2 and 1, 2 plus 1 will be plus 3. So what I should do? I should give negative sign to both. Right? Then minus minus becomes plus, because 2 minus makes a plus. 2 ones are 2. Then minus 1 and minus 2 will give you minus 3. Okay, right? Now what to do? First term write as it is. Then last term also write with sign as it is. When you multiply these two, you should consider sign also. Sometime here negative sign is there, then here negative will come. Suppose here minus 1 is there now, then here 2 into minus 1 will become minus 2. So consider this sign. Sometime here also negative sign is given, suppose in the question. Here sometime given. Then you should consider sign also. Okay. Now first term is 2x square. Constant term is plus 1. Middle term we are dividing into two parts. What are those? 2x minus 1x. 1x means x only. Okay. From first two terms take common. Last two terms take common. From first two terms 2 is common. X is also common because x is here and this is x square, so we can take x common. From 2x square we have taken 2x common. X is left minus 2x you have taken common. What is left? No, not 0. It will be 1. Okay. Then minus. Nothing is common means you should take 1 as a common number. Okay. Then here negative sign is there, so I have taken negative here. If we have taken 1 common, x is as it is remaining. Okay. Then if I have taken negative sign outside, tell me about this sign. Yes, this will be negative, and 1 ones are 1. X minus 1, same brackets. Yes, so our calculation is correct. Now what to do? From this term and this term, takes x minus 1 common. And what is left then? 2x minus 1. If you take x minus 1 outside, here what is left? 2x. And here what is left? Minus 1. If you want to find roots, what should you do? Equal to 0 and x. So x minus 1 equal to 0. 2x minus 1 equal to 0. X will be plus 1. And here 2x is equals to minus 1 becomes plus 1. So then x equal to 1 upon 2. 1 by 2 means half. Half means, how to write in decimal form? 0.5. Okay. Decimal form of half is 1 by 2 is 0.5. So what are the two roots here? Alpha is 1 and beta is 0.5. Okay. How to locate in graph? Here is 1, here is 2. Okay, here negative numbers, negative integers, then here 0, origin. Then 0.5 means here, okay, and 1 means here. Okay, now how will be the parabola? Okay, what is parabola? It is the graph of quadratic polynomial. When you locate or when you show quadratic polynomial graphically, then you will get a parabola like this. Okay. So roots means x values. Where that graph is intersecting x-axis, that is called as roots of the quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial will have two roots because degree of quadratic polynomial is 2. Whatever is the degree, that many will be the roots of the quadratic polynomial. Okay. While solving the problem, what we should do? We should first check whether the quadratic polynomial is in general form or not. What is the general form of quadratic polynomial? ax square plus bx plus c. First is square term, then degree 1 term, then constant term. After checking this, we have to find such two integers so that their product should be coefficient of x square and constant term you have to multiply. 2 ones are 2. Okay. Then if you find the product of two integers, you should get the product of constant term and coefficient of x square. When you sum same two integers, you have to write here same, don't change this. You should get -3. Okay, suppose you are not multiplying and you are getting this, but same integers you are adding and you are not getting this term, that means these integers are not correct. Go for the another integers. Okay, so here I have some home assignment for you. Note down these problems for home assignment, solve them and send me the pics on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is given in description. I hope everybody understood these problems. But if anybody has doubt and still not clear, please watch this video 2 times, 3 times so that you will better understand. If any doubts are there, please comment me on my WhatsApp. I will definitely solve the problems or clear your doubts. Thank you everybody. Have a nice day.